Hi Dollar Divas, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just going to be doing a side-by-side of some high-end makeup that I have, as well as some dollar store makeup. These products include drugstore, Dollar Tree, and like Shein, Temu, Shop Miss A, and so there's nothing new here. It's all just stuff from my stash, but I love doing these side-by-side comparisons with different products. So that's what we're doing today. If you're a returning Dollar Diva, thank you so much for coming back for another video. You know I appreciate you very much. And if you're new to my channel, I'm basically a bargain beauty channel. What I mean by that is I love to do a lot of the same fun content that other beauty channels do. I just like to keep it as close to the bargain price point as I can. So the closer to $1, the better. I do hope you'll become part of our Dollar Diva community here on YouTube. So without any further chit chat, let's just go ahead and get into today's video. So I'm gonna do high end on this side and everything else on this side. So this is the only high end brow product that I own. It's the Benefit Gimme Brow Volumizing. And I got this at TJ Maxx a while back. I've got the shade 3.5. And then this here is either from Shein or Temu. It's the Minzchee Small Bullion Eyebrow Pencil. So it's got a spoolie on one side, just like the Benefit, and then it has a tapered end on it. This one may be a little bit darker, but we're gonna make it work. So I'm just gonna go in first with the Benefit, try to get these as even as I can. So I've been a little bit busy, so I just got back from being out of town with my husband. We took a little weekend trip, which we really don't do very much. So that was really nice. And I think I said in my last makeup video, I've been trying to enjoy the last bits of the pool, because once it starts getting cool, even if we have like an 85-degree day, to me the water is just too cold. So beginning of last week and the end of the week before, I was kind of soaking up the last little bit of pool weather. That went on really nice. This is a really nice brow pencil. I paid like probably half price from what it would have cost originally at TJ Maxx. I'm gonna go in with this. I'm gonna try to just make the colors even, because that'll probably end up being the biggest difference. And then we've been putting some stuff in the show that I'm in, so we had a little bit of rehearsal with that. And then I'm picking up another show. So I recently shared that I had to come out of one of the shows that I do earlier this year due to some vocal problems. And so I've been just doing like 3 shows a week versus like 5 to 8 like I'm used to doing. It's been a big hit to my psyche and my wallet, if you can imagine. I'll have that chatty get ready with me down below. That way if you missed it, if you want to hear what exactly is going on with me, I'll have that down below. Just to catch it, so you can catch up on that. But we have a couple of girls leaving, and so there's another show that happens at my theater 2 days a week, sometimes 3, and it really just involves me doing backup vocals. So it's a way that I can do a little extra work while I'm in the condition that I am in. Okay, I think we got a pretty even result. I think even the color is like fine, especially when we clean up the brows like we always do. There we go. They are not perfect, and that's on my part, not on the part of the product. So now I'm going to clean up my brows. So I've got this again is from like Marshalls or TJ Maxx. It's a Stila Pixel Perfect Concealer. It's in the shade Light. Again, this is the only high-end concealer that I own. And then this is the AOA Studio Locked Creamy Concealer. This is in Light Warm. We're going to use this to conceal later on, but I'm going to use it to also clean up my brows right now. So the weather's cooled down significantly where I live, which is a much needed relief, I'm sure, for a lot of you as well. I'm going to wipe off that brush and just get the excess product off. And I'm going to go in on my other side with the AOA. So drop a comment down below and let me know what you're most excited about for the cooler weather and the fall. I know fall is like a lot of people's like favorite season. Blend it out a little bit. I feel like that did a very comparable job. So we'll use those later to conceal. I'm just gonna go in with my LA Colors eye primer, and I'm just gonna put that on both lids. I do have the Urban Decay primer potion, but when I do these like comparison videos, I like to use the same primer. That way we can really see how, that way the circumstances are the same for the eyeshadow. And I personally like this better than the Urban Decay primer potion. Although you really can't find it. It was something I found at Dollar Tree years ago. If you're not new to my channel, you're sick of hearing me say that. But if you're new to my channel, that is the facts on that. For the high-end side, I'm going to go into my Urban Decay Wild West palette. I bought this half price at TJ Maxx or Marshalls some time ago, a couple years ago. It's got all those warm tones. It's got a couple cool tones as well. And then for the dollar store side, I'm gonna go into the LA Colors Invite Only palette. It's got a lot of neutrals, and I'm probably gonna do like a taupe look today. I wanted to like do a side by side with the Urban Decay like OG Naked palette, but mine is so old that I just don't even use it anymore. It's like old even for me. So I'm gonna first go into this shade right here. It's called Spur. Both palettes have a shade very similar to this. And I'm just gonna put that up into my crease. I'm gonna use that same brush. I'm gonna clean it off on my color switch. Then I like to show you guys it is in fact clean. So in the Invite Only palette, I'm gonna go into that shade right there. This Invite Only palette, y'all, I got it at Dollar General, and it's really great. It's only like $6. And you pretty much have every neutral shade you could want. I also, just recently, my last makeup video, I did a look using the LA Colors in Vogue palette, the 12 pan from Dollar Tree, and I'm always impressed with that palette. Shades are very similar. This one's a little bit more like either pigmented or just a little brighter, but I would say close enough. So I'm gonna clean off that same brush, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here. It's kind of a taupe. It's called Laredo in this palette. And I'm just gonna kind of lay that down. Really wanting this to be more like a taupe type of a cooler look. So I just needed that color, that first shade, to lay a base. Just gonna take a clean brush and just blend that a bit. Same brush, just gonna clean it off. I'm gonna go into this shade right here. So far, the LA Colors Invite Only palette is not as pigmented. Like the colors just aren't as dark, but they're very buildable and they're very good nonetheless. Might even be that they're a little bit more muted. So there we go so far. Like I said, it's a little different. You can definitely see a little bit of a difference, but we will make it work. So I kind of want to even this out just a little bit. So on the Invite Only side, I'm gonna go into a little bit of that shade right there and just darken up this eye right here a little bit. I'm gonna make it where you can't tell the difference. In the pan, the other two look very similar, but this one here, as far as like a swatch and how it goes on the eye, is actually more similar, even though it's darker in the pan. There we go. Now we're kind of getting evened up a bit. So I'm gonna go in with shimmer, and I'm gonna go into this Cowboy Rick shade right there. It's like a beautiful taupe shimmer. Got my flat brush. I'm gonna just pack that on there, and then I'm gonna spray with setting spray. And go on in. I've been loving like a taupe type of an eye lately. There we go. Taking some brush cleaner and cleaning off that same brush, and I'm gonna go into that shade right there. It's very similar. It might be a little bit darker, but again, we will make it work. It's really very, very similar. So I'm gonna stop here with the eyeshadow for right now. We're gonna move on, and then we'll come back and just get everything all evened up and finish off the eyes. So I'm just gonna add some Beauty Intuition mascara, just one coat, and we're gonna come back and do our liquid liner. I will be right back. Okay, so I've got two liners to compare. In my only high-end eyeshadow I actually found at the Dollar Tree, and it's wonderful. It's the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Liner. Supposed to be waterproof. Came 2 to a pack for $1.25. It's wonderful. Not a dud. Like sometimes things that roll into Dollar Tree, like brand name wise, are a dud. Those were not duds. Then I've got this from Five Below. This is the W7 brand II Captain Liquid Liner. And I think these are going to be very, very comparable. When I bought these, I was a little afraid they'd be like dried out or something like that. But they were not. Go. Just a really easy, just a very easy to work with liquid liner. And this one's kind of weird. You kind of think this is gonna be the top, but it's not. This long brush here is the top. Again, another very nice liner. I think it was $4 or $5 at Five Below. And there you go. You would not be able to tell the difference other than my skill level varying from eye to eye. So I'm just gonna use some Ioni lashes. I'm gonna put some glue on them, and then we'll let that get tacky and we'll move on to face. I'm just gonna use the Everlasting Lash Glue by Ioni, and we're just gonna brush this on. As always, if you are new to my channel, I have a beginner friendly lash tutorial that I will have linked down below. where I give you lots of tips and tricks. I show you 2 different ways to put your lashes on. This glue is actually, I think, kind of dried out, y'all. It's not really dried out, it's just a little gummy, which I guess just means that it won't take as long to get tacky. That's a big, big tip. If you struggle to put lashes on, you don't want to use too much glue, and you also want to let it get, like, you want to let it set up just a little bit. You don't want the glue to be super wet when you go to put your lashes on. Yeah, that glue is just a little gummy. They don't last forever once you open them. Okay, so I'm going to put on foundation, and then we're going to come back and do those lashes because that's not going to take long. So for the high-end side, I have the Bare Minerals Original Liquid Mineral Foundation. This is in soft medium, again, something I found at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. And then for the other side, I'm going to use the LA Colors Skin Tint. This is a natural beige. Really like this. Got this at Dollar General recently. So I'm going to use one side of this puff here for the Bare Minerals. This is, I feel, kind of comparable to the Candy Moyo. I don't know about lasting power, but the shade here is very similar to the medium shade. And I find the finish to be very, very similar as well. There was a time I loved, for high-end foundation, loved the, I don't even know if they still make it anymore, or if they've reformulated it. The Urban Decay Naked foundation, I used to love. And I felt it was superior than anything I could get at the drugstore. I do like the package. I think the package is kind of cool. So now with the other side of that beauty blender, I'm going to take this skin tint and just go in and see how this does. The shades might be a little different, but I will make it work with bronzer. There we go. Very, very similar, honestly. Like, this is just a tad darker, but nothing that we can't fix with bronzer for sure. So now I'm going to put those lashes on. I'm sure the glue is ready. Yes, it is. I'm just going to pop these on. So by the time this video goes out, you will have already seen my most recent Dollar Tree haul. When we were out of town, we went to 6 Dollar Trees, you guys. Okay, lashes are on. They're mostly even. And we're going to move on to concealer. And again, we're just going to use those same concealers. I'm going to put the Stila on this side. It's a lot. And the AOA on this other side here. I'm going to use my e.l.f. for this side and my Sassy Chic for the other side. We found the best Dollar Tree. It's the best one that I ever went to. It is in Cleveland, Tennessee. I'm sure they have more than one. And it used to be a grocery store. And so it was not only huge, but it also was very well stocked and pristine. It had like big aisles, and I didn't find anything super groundbreaking just because there's not a whole lot of stuff right now coming through Dollar Tree, but it had just about anything that you could want from Dollar Tree that is out there right now. There we go. I would say those are very comparable, and like I said, any kind of difference we will even out with bronzer. So I don't have a high-end powder, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the LA Girl Pro Powder. This is, again, is from Dollar General here pretty recently, and it is wonderful. I'm just going to use this brush right here, set under my eyes. This leaves such a beautiful finish on the skin. It says it's high definition, so I believe it. So now bronzer. So I've got this, again, it's my only high-end bronzer that I own. This is from TJ Maxx or Marshall's. It's the Buxom Staycation Vibes. It's a primer-infused bronzer. It's in Backyard Bronze. And then for my other side, I'm going to be using one of my favorites, the LA Colors Matte Bronzer. This is in Bronze Beauty. So I'm just going to go in. Try not to go overboard. There we go, just a nice glow, very easy to use. Then I'm going to go in with the LA Colors on my other side. Again, try not to go overboard. There we go. I would say those are super comparable to each other. So now highlighter. I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape. This is one of 2 high-end highlighters that I have. The other one is the Discontinued Benefit Shy Beam, which is like a matte highlighter. But this is the Shape Tape Glow Powder. This is in Sunlit. They have 3 shades of this. I believe they still make it. And it's not like a super like strobe highlighter. It's just a really very subtle lit from within glow. See, it's just a very, very subtle. And it's very, very comparable to an Essence one that I have that I got at the drugstore. This time around though, I'm gonna go ahead and use the AOA Studio. This is the Everglow highlighter. This is in Magic Hour. It's a little bit of a different shade, but I think we're gonna pretty much get the same effect. And it's just, the packaging is so, for $1.88, it's just so much better than this for $20, $30 something. Did a video not too long ago about the best and worst makeup packaging in my opinion. And I'll have those videos linked down below. There we go. See, it's a little bit more intense, but still absolutely beautiful. Forgot blush. Let's go to blush. So again, this is one of the only high-end blushes that I own. It's the Nars Orgasm X blush. I used to have the original. I actually still do have the original. It's just really old. They kind of brightened up the color for this. It's, of course, got that gold shimmer in it as well. And I only has a couple blushes I feel that are dupes for this. And I'm going to go ahead and use this one here in the heart packaging. This is in Deep Coral. See? Very, very, very similar. So I'm going to go into the Nars. These are very pigmented, so I have to be very careful. There we go. That's all I want to do for that. And then I'm going to go into the Ioni. These are generally very pigmented as well. Blush, again, was one of those things I felt you used to have to get high-end to get something that was finely milled. And perhaps there was a time that was true, but not anymore, you guys. Look at that. There's the affordable side. There is the high-end side. I find the Ioni was actually, I think actually went on a little bit better. It was a little easier to not go overboard. I think it went on a little smoother, in my opinion. So now we're going to go back to the eyes and just kind of finish them up and then move on to the lips. So I'm going to use some of that shimmer for the inner corner. So I'm going to go back into that shade there. Just going to use a little brush. And I'm going to spray it, of course. I did a nice job. It's not as, you know, as much as I like, but you know how that is. That's always a tough thing. And I'm, of course, now I would go into one of these lighter shades in this palette, but because I have to work with what I have to work with, I'm going to go back into the corresponding shade in the Invite Only palette. So there we go. Not my favorite inner corner highlight. Like I said, I like something a little brighter, but we're going to make it work. So to smoke out underneath, I'm going to go into that shade right there. That is Laredo. Use my smudger brush. There we go, just a nice soft effect on that eye. And I'm going to clean off that same brush. It was a little damp when I applied that because I did clean it off before. So I'm actually going to go into that darker shade there that we did to even up our eyes. I'm going to use that one. Blend it out. Alrighty, so I would say that the eyes are done. I don't really have anything for an under the brow bone highlight that corresponds in each palette, so I'm just going to let that go. We're going to move on to lips. I don't have a high-end lip liner, so I'm just going to go ahead and use like my favorite of all time, and it's discontinued. It's the Rimmel 3000 Kisses lip liner in Coffee Bean. Then I have some lip plumpers that I'm going to put over this. Just kind of blend that line just a bit. So this is something I found a few years ago at TJ Maxx. It's the Urban Decay Heat Lip Plumper. It's not something you can buy at like Sephora or Ulta anymore. Then I've got the e.l.f. Mint Melt Lip Plumping Gloss. So I felt that those are pretty comparable in color. And they're both plumpers, so that is good. I don't really remember this one like stinging very much. Same thing with the e.l.f. as much as others anyway. There is that side. Both of these go really wonderful with this lip liner. Of course, this is very minty. So colors are very similar. This one here is a little bit deeper, but the feel actually feels very similar. Like I said, this one has kind of a mintier taste, but they're very similar. I mean, they're really not super far off. Like you can kind of tell by looking at my lips, but if you had one versus the other, you really wouldn't be able to tell. And I prefer the taste of this one, of course, over this one any day. So there is a side-by-side comparison. This is using high-end makeup from my stash. And this is using Dollar Tree, Shein, Temu, Dollar Store makeup, everything Very, very comparable. If you didn't know, you probably wouldn't know. So of course, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. It helps me and my channel out so much. Definitely comment down below and let me know what high-end products you have switched out for a cheaper alternative. You know I love talking to you all. As always, I'll have similar content down below in the description box, as well as all of these products listed down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.